Well, hello there, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Exit Realty Radio. I am your host, Billy Jack, franchise owner and designated supervisor here at Exit Realty Central in El Paso, Texas. So in today's episode, I'm going to give you an update on the commission structure. Okay, so I know in this time it's getting a lot more difficult to work with buyers, and getting listings is pretty much where it's at. So if you're strictly just a buyer's agent, it's a little difficult, and getting listings is really the quickest way to get that easy money, right? Okay, so as you all know, our national standard is 6%, right? That's a national average on listing commissions, 3% to buyer, 3% to listing office, or if you double N, 6% all for you. Okay, so now to stay competitive, there's a lot of these agents that they're giving a lot lower. They're doing, these lower commissions just to kind of get the listing. So in our office, I'm going to allow for a drop down to 5% where you don't have to ask for myself or Maria's permission for it. Okay, so 5% would be the lowest that you can make that decision on your own. Okay, now with that, always try to sell it for the 6%. Okay, you got to sell what you're worth. You just need to make up your script and tell them what you do. That you push it on MLS and you push it with all your colleagues. Facebook, social media, professional pictures, all that kind of stuff, and explain to them a lot of sellers, in this time right now, they are interviewing other agents. Okay, and they might come at you and say, well, this other office will do it for 4%, or in some cases, some of them say, well, they're only going to do it for 2% or 1% even. Now ask them, well, what are you going to get for that? Just ask them, would you mind telling me what are they going to give you for 2% or 3% or whatever it is? And most of them, they just put it on MLS and they don't even do nothing else at all. And the seller has to do all the negotiation. Okay. So, they don't really have that added protection of representation. Okay, you can use the example as like an attorney. Whenever you need a lawyer, you want a good lawyer. You get a lawyer that's going to say, I'll do it for $20 an hour or something. You're going to get what you pay for. Okay, so without getting too far off topic, if you do have like a friend or a family or especially repeat customer or so, and they want to do it a little bit less, or, they're really pushing for a lower commission, or sometimes you might have some sellers that they just cannot afford it. They're upside down, or they're just going to barely break even or something, and they need to do it for less than 5. It's not an automatic no. You can come to us and ask, we can give a special permission for something like that. Now, the main objective here is we do not want to be a cheap office. Okay, so one big thing, and I get this feedback, in my other job as a home inspector, I have the privilege of working with many different agents every day, from all different offices. So one of the biggest complaints is when they see on MLS that they're only giving 1.5 or 2% commission to buyer side, and it cheapens the industry. Okay, so that's not what we want to do. And if you do 5%, okay, it'll be 2.5 and 2.5. Okay, I know previously I said we're always going to give 3% to the other office, but if we do 5, we'll put that. Now, in confidential remarks, we will be putting, hey, it's being split 50-50. Okay, so you just put a comment like that, commission is split 50-50. Okay, because there's a big trend going on right now that a lot of them are giving 2% to buyer's agent and they're keeping 4% on the seller side. Okay? And that's just not fair, and it's going to create a lot of animosity, and it's going to bring a bad name not only to yourself but to the Exit Corporation as a whole. Okay, and you'll be real surprised what I hear. A lot of these agents, when they see that, they'll say, I'll never go work for that office because they're just a cheap office and this and that. So if you are hoping to get any kind of recruits from other offices, that will automatically kill that. Okay, based on the feedback that I've received. Okay, so another strategy that another agent suggested to me that she does quite often is, in order to enforce a 6% and sometimes even 7%, okay? When I was with Century 21, a lot of the commissions were 7%. I do know that was quite a long time ago. But what a lot of them will say is they'll have tiers of service, so they'll say for 6% this is what you get, for 5% this is what you get, and for 7% this is what you get. So you can make your own. It just depends on your own budget, because as a lot, it's going to be out of your pocket until the sale closes. So for example, if you wanted to do, let's say you're trying to push, let's say a 7%, for example, you would say, I'll have the house professionally staged if it's vacant, or I'll have it cleaned up. I'll even one agent that we sponsored in the Las Cruces office, he's very successful. He's hitting his 600,000 mark already. And he'll have the house repainted, or he'll have the yard all cleaned up. And I mean, he invests quite a bit, but he charges what he charges, top percent on there. Okay, so those are some suggestions that you can make up. That all really depends on your own personal budget. You can also say, for the full 6%, I'll do open houses however many times a week or anything. Of course, if it's 150,000, 200,000, it's going to sell real quick anyway. So that's just using your own judgment, little suggestions that you can give, to the sellers on the initiative that you're going to put. If they only want to give you 3%, well, they'll get a sign in the yard and it'll be on MLS and do the bare minimum, So, I mean, it's just the way it is. Okay. And I know a lot of you might be thinking, well, I need to find a listing first so I can pitch that idea. Well, to get the customers, you have to have your name out there. Okay. So everywhere you go, always pass out your cards, or, use a mobile business card, or, just like I was saying in previous videos, give your cards out. You can also farm the areas. Okay. One decent strategy that works is you farm an area where you see a listing that just popped up. Okay. Yesterday I was in Las Cruces and there was one house for sale, and now 2 others popped up right next to it, and they're with different brokerages. Okay. So, statistics shows that when one house goes up for sale on the block, other people also think about selling it. And especially right now in this kind of market, that's everybody's thinking, I can get a lot more money from my house, which is true. Okay. But they have to know who you are if they're going to make contact with you. Okay. Push yourself on social media. I'm telling you, it works. Okay. So, and have your name out there, leave your cards everywhere you go. People will remember you, they'll call on you just to ask questions or things like that, but they have to know that you exist. You cannot be a secret agent, okay? Because then they won't know. All right. So anyway, so I'm going to keep this short, and hopefully it helps. Of course, if you have any questions or any comments or suggestions or anything, you can always reach out to me. Alrighty. So best of luck to you all. Hopefully this helped you out. And until next time.